Has anyone ever heard of Mal's Hole? It is a place in central Washington that there's been lots of stories around it. If you're interested in paranormal or strange things or alien stuff or anything like that, look into it. Mel's Hole, Melshole. Anyway, it is a hole that's supposed to be possibly 80,000 feet deep. And it was up on this guy's property, and it was an old Native American ritual place or something like that where spirits came back to life. It has all kinds of stuff around it. But it's up by Ellensburg, Washington. It is now in the Yakima military range where they test their artillery and tanks and all the good stuff. It's a really big area up there. And if you look on Google Maps, you'll find out there in the middle, you just gotta follow some of the little roads around, and there's a building out there in the middle, miles and miles and miles from any other type of building or main road or anything. And there's these white pickups and stuff parked around it, but it's out there in the middle of the Yakima shooting range for the Army and National Guard. So it's kind of strange that this building just sits out there and has these pickups parked around it and vehicles parked around it, but it's out there in the middle of nowhere. And of course it did not used to be range. Used to be able to drive up the Vantage Highway right there past the town of Vantage going towards Ellensburg, and on the left side or the south side used to be able to drive up there, but now it is all military, clear up to the highway. When I was a kid, we used to fish the river along there. We'd come up from the Tri-Cities, go up there and fish along the river right there, and used to be able to drive some roads back up in there. And there was some pretty neat stuff. There was an old railroad track that went through there, and there was this big old railroad station that used to be up there in the middle of nowhere, up on that hill. If you look at Google Earth, you'll see what I'm talking about, the way the land is shaped up there. And one time we went up there, and that building was gone. It had underground tunnels. If you went inside the building, you could see where they took the plates off the floor, because it was abandoned, and you could see there was tunnels underneath, but there was no way to get down to them, or it was locked off. So anyway, and then we went up there the next year, and it was gone. They had bulldozed it all down, everything, and it was like they used to have old military vehicles sitting up there and stuff, and old cars and stuff. And well, there's only a couple military vehicles, like old Jeeps or whatever, so they could have been personally owned, don't know. But anyway, that building was pushed in, everything, and then a couple years later they turned it all military, so you could no longer go up there anymore. So if you look where Wanapum Dam sits, all that hill right above that, towards the what is that, the west of Wanapum Dam, because right there it runs what is it, northwest. I think it runs east to west right there. I'm not sure, because you know how rivers kind of change course. But anyway, there's a lot of strange things, and that place was bulldozed, and then they turned that all military. But that's where that guy owned his property up in there. And then it was acquired by the military, and now, like I said, if you look on Google Earth, you'll see there's a building up there with vehicles sitting around it and stuff, and kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of mysterious. But anyway, that's where the rumor is where that Mel's hole was. And just look that up if you're interested in stuff like that. It's pretty weird. There's everything from Native American folklore on that thing to the rancher and some of the stuff that happened. And there was stories of people going up there and throwing their animals in there and stuff. And it was, I don't know how big the hole was at the top, but it just went straight down. And they would just throw dead animals and stuff like that in it. And I don't know. And next thing you know, the military has it. And of course, militaries, they expanded their firing range because they increased the size of the guard and everything that would go down their training. So of course they needed to expand that. But the mysterious thing is that building that's up there. So anyway, if you guys are all interested in mysterious things, that's pretty mysterious. So makes you wonder. So see y'all later.